get any better, man.
Friday Night Football back at BC Place. The Lions back home for the first time in nearly a month after a very successful 3 weeks in Eastern Canada. Tonight, they host the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who they narrowly beat last November in the playoffs.
We saw this guy light it up off the bench last week. We know he's a starter, a pretty good one. Won the Grey Cup in 2011. In fact, at BC Place, he is 19-4.
Andrew Harris back playing against his old team. You know he's fired up. He had a total of 19 touches for 93 yards and 2 tugs last week. This man needs to touch the ball 20 to 25 times a game, and they could possibly win.
Oh, he had a big game in the playoffs last year, Western Semi. Remember how close Winnipeg came right down to the final minute when BC came back and won it and broke the Blue Bomber hearts. Well, they meet again tonight on Friday Night Football. Welcome to it. Rod Smith, Milt Stiegel, and Matt Dunnigan. Matty talked about it. Travis Lulay, the pinnacle of his career, actually came against Winnipeg in that very stadium 6 years ago in the Grey Cup. All these years later, he comes off the bench last week, and Jonathan Jennings was hurt early, and it's a career passing high for Travis Lulay in that victory against Hamilton. Can he do this again?
I think he can. He prepares a backup as if he were the starter. That's what they say. But it's hard not to believe that he's not even more dialed in this week after just going off with a set of receivers that he's very comfortable with, been working with them for a long time. And I really think that the continuity is going to carry over, and the magic that he showed us last week is going to reappear against a very tough Winnipeg Blue Bomber defense, Milt.
I think he can play well, but I don't think he can duplicate what he did last week for a couple of reasons. We're talking about it. Hamilton Tiger Cat defense.
Yeah.
They weren't playing the best. They played a little bit better yesterday, but up to that point, they weren't playing that well. And now Winnipeg, they have film on him.
Yeah.
They've seen him. They prepared for him.
Same offense that they were seeing of Jennings.
I know that, but when he stepped in last week, there was no pressure. He knew he was just out there just flinging. Now, don't get me wrong. I asked you about that. Yeah. There's more pressure on him now. He's expected to go out there and do well. Winnipeg has a good defense. He can play well, but I don't think he can put up the same numbers he put up last week.
I think this guy's got the same mindset as he did last week. No pressure. He's freewheeling, and he's playing with house money, I think, and he's fun to watch when the quarterback's playing with house money.
Yeah, Blue Bombers coming off a big win at home last week. The Lions still looking for their first home victory. They've been solid on the road, winning 3 straight. In the East, back home to face Winnipeg. Friday Night Football kickoff coming up.
Jonathan Jennings back to throw. Jennings shaking up.
You saw him kind of getting up, testing that right shoulder, and now see Travis Lulay, Lions backup quarterback, warming up on the sideline.
Lulay swings it up. Shaq Johnson, touchdown. Lulay stands in, throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Nick Moore. Travis Lulay, 436 yards passing tonight. The greatest relief performance in CFL history.
Flash TV.
Paul St. Pierre of Winnipeg. You could win a $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown in this game. Thanks to Safeway Sobeys $1 million touchdown to win promotion. And if it happens a second time in this game, you could also win $1 million. Paul, good luck. Lions, Bombers. Let's go to Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter.
Thank you, Rod. 3 meetings last year all went down to the wire, including a stirring BC comeback in the West Semi. Tonight, first of 3 meetings, a key Western season series, Bombers clashing with the Lions.
Last official start for Travis Lulay was back in November of 2015 against Calgary. Came off the bench last week. Early in this one against the Hamilton Tiger Cats and set a CFL record for a quarterback coming off the bench with 436 yards passing. Completed 80% of his throws. Great catch by Brian Burnham, one of the best you'll see. Now, if he's going to go into that short side of the field tonight against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, that's where TJ Heath lines up. Now, TJ Heath leads the CFL with 4 interceptions. He is a ball hawk back there. Travis Lulay's got to watch him closely.
Mike O'Shea's Bombers have won 8 of their last 10 on the road and won both regular season games against the Lions last year. And on the other sideline, after sweeping that 3-game Eastern swing, Wally Buono's Lions now begin a 5-game stretch against Western opponents, looking for their first home win of the season. He says this is bigger than the 3 wins they won down east.
Well, this is the divisional games, the 4-point games, the 2 the winner gets, the 2 the loser doesn't get.
Bombers have won the last 5 regular season meetings between these 2 teams. Last year, all games, both teams scored at least 30. And we're underway with a new season series, and Chris Rainey's got it up over the 30. He's sprung early. Chris Rainey over midfield and hauled down at the 35-yard line. Ryan Langford lit the fuse last week with a opening touchdown off a kick return. This 63-yarder for Chris Rainey.
Well, we've seen Chris Rainey create these kind of returns all by himself, but this time he gets tons of blocking up front from his kick return team led by Jeremiah Johnson, the tailback who's leading it right up the middle. He got 3 guys.
I think people around here have been waiting for him to get loose. Biggest return of the year, and it sets up the Lions. 1st and 10 in Bomber territory. Here's Jeremiah Johnson not going anywhere. He is stuffed by Kyle Knox in his second start at the weak side linebacker position.
Well, you've met Travis Lulay. You've seen him before. Set a CFL record off the bench last week. His number 1 receiver was Nick Moore. Career game for Nick Moore with over 200 yards receiving against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And Hunter Stewart's got his hands full off the edge there with Jamal Westerman.
Loss of 2 at 2nd and 12. Here comes the heat. Lulay just throws it away to avoid a sack back at the 51-yard line. A 2-and-out as the Bombers defense responds after the big Rainey return.
Mentioned Jamal Westerman. He's going to go against Antonio Johnson, the right tackle in this one, but just a good power rush off the edge, causing problems for Travis Lulay out of the gate.
So Ty Long in to try and open the scoring for the Lions. And this one is pushed to the right. Langford in the end zone. Is he coming out? Looks like he will. Wasn't sure. And tiptoes up to the 10. Might have been better off surrendering a single, but Wally Bono's team does not cash in after that great return to start the game. So here's Matt Nichols, who had modest numbers last week, Suits, but what he did do is protect the football. No turnovers in that win against Toronto.
Yeah, 228. Did not throw a touchdown pass in that game, but you ask him, he'll take the win anytime. Good back and forth game against the Argonauts at home, and they needed that one at home.
17th consecutive start as the Bomber quarterback. Starting deep at his own 9-yard line. A fake to Harris, looking downfield, but in trouble. Ball got loose, and Christophe Normand's got it, and he'll haul it across the 25. Big hit by Purifoy, but it's a first down.
Like the pressure came from David Menard and Max Ford. Menard right here, Max Ford at the top of your screen. He's playing the opposite defensive end, and Menard gets that pressure off the edge, and Max Ford's going to clean him up, and he knocks the ball out of there.
Boy, an alert play by Normand, and a first down. Now they'll swing it out to the former Lion, Andrew Harris, and he's tripped up by Anthony Thompson. Let's set the Bombers offense for you.
Yeah, big part of last week's win against Toronto. Weston Dressler's off to the best first 3 games of his career, and that's a career that saw him as a CFL All-Star in 12 and 13. And I've highlighted the tackles because of the defensive end play on the other side. Craig Rose up against Stanley Bryant tonight.
2nd and 8. Pressure. Nichols gets hit hard off the edge. Chandler Finner gets hold.
That's how you write out the linebacker blitz off the edge. Chandler Finner gets free off the edge because they load it up and take 2 blocks inside. Fenner is not picked up because Andrew Harris is looking backside. That's full blitz from the Lions. They get home.
Didn't surrender a sack last week against the Argos, but the Lions get early pressure. And now Rainey fields the punt at the 46. It's a 46-yard punt as well, and Rainey brings it back to midfield.
Well,
The defenses are loaded and ready to fire tonight, including the big sack by Chandler Fenner on the Bombers' opening series of the game.
Fitness.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, they're trying to move around a lot.
Boy, both quarterbacks have been popped already. Chandler Fenner unloading on Matt Nichols. Travis Lulay's been hit.
TJ, calm down.
Tom Valesi's going to check with the scoring table. I think we're ready to go. They adjust the clock, and Lule gets set to go to work after his third career 400-yard game and the greatest relief performance in CFL history by a quarterback.
Corner, get inside him, TJ.
Stands in the pocket. He'll take a shot deep. Brian Burnham's got it behind Taylor Loeffler.
The arm strength is back. Travis Lule is back. And Brian Burnham, right down the seam here, is going to just get in behind coverage. Nothing fancy about it, just speed against speed, and he's going right down the middle. 45-yard gain for Burnham, and he had a pretty catch last week too. Maybe the best in the league so far this year.
One of the best we've ever seen, and he had a monster game against Winnipeg last year with 9 catches and 208 yards. First down, throwing to the corner for Arsenault, touchdown! Manny Arsenault's got his first touchdown of the year.
Just like that. Lule shows the arm strength is back on the Burnham throw, and then the accuracy is there on the corner route to Manny Arsenault, because he's going to throw it, so Manny Arsenault has to come back to the football towards the goal line, and that gives him the body leverage advantage on Carmichael.
So the Lions go for 2. After a 2-play, 55-yard drive. And it's a direct snap to Johnson. He'll get stuffed short of the first down. Or short of the 2 points, excuse me. But the Lions get it in the end zone quickly. Takes only 2 plays and a touchdown pass for Manny Arsenault.
Some textbook route running here from Manny Arsenault on the corner route. He's going to take Carmichael and make this inside move. Now, when Carmichael leans heavy on that left foot, he's going in the wrong direction for man-to-man. He's lost that leverage to the outside, and then he cuts underneath. Travis Lule throws the ball a little bit short, so it brings the receiver back to the goal line. Great throw and catch for the BC Lions.
Ty Long kicks it off. Langford running up to this at his 20. Running east-west and just across the 25-yard line.
That's for you, mama. But shout out to the O-line, quarterback, receivers. Hey, let's keep going. In Jesus' name, I play.
See how he just is going to step back in front. If Carmichael gets the ball call, he might be able to get that left arm out there and maybe tip that football. Great accuracy on the throw from Travis Lule.
Burnham and Arsenault combined for 19 catches, 358 in one game against Winnipeg last year. They had 2 catches, 55 there, and here comes the fly sweep to Weston Dressler, who has a first down. Yesterday, Wally Buono pointed out that he thinks Dressler has been playing better than ever and got kudos from the opposing coach.
Well, last week, 7 catches for 109 yards, but he also runs this fly sweep as well as anyone in the league, any receiver. Gets a little misdirection going with motion the opposite way and then takes that ball. He's got great speed to the corner.
So it gives Winnipeg a first down at their 40, going through the reads, and a pass incomplete. intended for Fiole Gadino.
Well, the good news for the Bombers and their fans is that Matt Nichols had enough time there to scan pretty much the entire field. Sort of hopped and went through that progression, as you mentioned, Chris, and then went to the backside. Was just a little short on the throw.
Matt Nichols now 14-9 as a starter for the Bombers. 20-16 overall, 2nd and 10 from the 40. Crossing pattern is complete. There's Harris. And Andrew Harris has a first down across the 50. Former Lion, of course, with 6 years here in BC.
Micah Awe is playing, and he's going to go on a stunt blitz here with Solomon Elamimian. And when you see this blitz, you're going to see exactly why Matt Nichols goes right where they vacate. Linebackers leave the middle. He's going right over the middle.
13 for Harris. With 19 touches, 94 yards against Toronto. He's had 95, 101, and 94 yards production from the line of scrimmage in his first 3 games, and they hand it off to Harris, who just gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe has a yard. Ran for 81 though against Toronto, and it'll be tough running against this defense.
Greg Rowe leads the team up front in sacks, who's got 4 on the season already. The one change in that linebacking core, as I mentioned, is Micah Awe playing in there for Tony Burnett, and then TJ Lee in the back end with an interception last week versus the Ticats.
Second and long, and in trouble. Max Ford gets to the quarterback, and the front now has 3 sacks in this opening quarter.
Moving him around, they started playing Max Ford in that first series out at defensive end, move him inside to tackle, and he just muscles his way back there.
7th round pick in 2015. Max Ford getting action and taking advantage of it. Here's Rainey, flagged down after the 47-yard punt, and Rainey stopped in his tracks at the 15, likely a no yards penalty. On the Manny show, took a little time to warm up last year before a career year. He's into the end zone early here tonight for BC. Bombers won the 2 regular season games, but the Lions prevail in comeback fashion in the Western Semi. Jonathan Jennings brings BC back from a 25-6 halftime deficit. This is one of the plays of the year.
Great move on the safety, Taylor Loeffler, to get to the end zone. Back and forth game in the playoffs.
Game-winning touchdown with just over a minute to go in. Civvy's watching this one after the shoulder injury last week.
Saying Jonathan Jennings, possibly 3 weeks. See how quickly he heals.
Procedure, BC number 67, 5-yard penalty. Timer, please hold the clock until the snap.
Grade 1 shoulder sprain, so he'll Travis Lule as your backup quarterback, and he's really not a backup. He is a former MOP and basically 1 and 1A for this BC Lions team. They can be patient with Jonathan Jennings.
I was corrected yesterday when I asked if Lule was the best backup in the league and was told by the head coach we have 2 starters.
Yes.
There was an illegal block on the punt against BC, and now the procedure call against Hunter Stewart. A wide-out throw to Shaq Johnson, who scored his first Canadian Football League touchdown last week. And Johnson with a nice pickup close to a first down.
Jamal Westerman, the leader on that defensive line off the edge. We'll watch him in that matchup with Hunter Stewart. Change in the linebacking core. Mo Leggett is out. So they're going to play that and replace him by committee. Brandon Alexander starts the game. May see Robert Porter. Sam Hurl's got off to a great start. And there's the ball hawk and TJ Heath.
Was a first down for Johnson, and now Jeremiah Johnson with the catch, brought down by Kyle Knox up at the 20-yard line.
TJ Heath with 4 interceptions in 3 games for the Bombers. Has more interceptions than 6 of the teams in the league at this point. It's a tremendous start.
And in 8 games now as a member of the Bombers, he has 6 interceptions. told us a couple of weeks ago his goal for the year was 9. He may be upgrading that.
Get there by Labor Day.
2nd and 8. Lule bounced out of the pocket on the run, and looked like the intended target stepped out and came back in. Incomplete, and that's why the flag flew as Johnson's foot was out of bounds and came back in to play it.
Shaq Johnson with his first touchdown in the
Illegal
CFL
participation. BC number 88.
Yep.
That penalty be declined. 3rd down.
Exactly what he did, Chris. Stepped out of bounds, came back in on his own, and is no longer eligible.
So Long to punt, and Langford awaiting around the 40, won't get it off. Punt is blocked. Ty Long shaken up, and it'll be a no yards call against BC as that football was scooped up, but Ty Long got drilled on the punt block.
Well, he did not see it coming. I mean, he was head down, concentrating on the football, and the Bombers got there clean. Derek Jones, I believe, was the first one to Ty Long. He comes from the left side of your screen, right through that A gap. And
no yards. BC number 41. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Boy, he got there before the ball hit the foot.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Boy, Derek Jones flying in there, the Simon Fraser product.
Good shit, guys. That was wide open. Good shit.
He just told you wide open, and good to see that Ty Long is able to walk off because he looked like he was badly shaken up. Big chance here for the Bombers, who have not scored any offensive points in the first quarter this year. Only points the Langford kickoff return to open last week's game. Nichols dancing around, throwing down to the end zone, and incomplete, but a flag flies as Alway was isolated against Harris.
I'm going to say that ball was tipped on its way there. I think Mike Alway, the penalty may be for screening. He has his hands up in front of the face. Of Andrew Harris.
We have illegal contact on BC 51, which will be declined. We have pass interference, BC 51, in the end zone. Ball will be placed on the 1-yard line. 1st down.
Crowd's hating that. Michael Alway is trying to say that he got the ball. So if he got the ball, then it's okay to make contact. You're going to see the route from Andrew Harris, who lines up as a wide receiver. Not sure about that illegal contact, but that was declined anyway. There's the early contact with just before the ball arrives. Alway.
No challenge from Wally Buono. 1st and goal. Bombers 3 for 9 in the red zone, and Lefevre trying to push his way in. He is denied. Oh no, it is a touchdown. Late signal, but Lefevre punches it in.
He had to work for every inch here. Off the right side. I'm not sure. You've got to take a look down the line here. This may give you a better angle. Did Lefevre stretch the ball across the plane at some point? I'm not sure he crossed it from that look, although, you know, for Wally Buono to challenge this.
Scoring plays under review automatically.
But ruled a touchdown. I don't know that you're going to find enough evidence to overturn it.
I don't know if the command center's seen evidence of a touchdown yet.
We're just a little bit off on the angle of that goal line, but boy, it looks like it's very close. We can get there underneath. Saying it's good.
They've confirmed it. They go with the call on the field, so Medlock comes on to break a 6-6 tie and score his 900 99th career point. So Lefevre the touchdown after the punt block by Derek Jones. The Bombers take the lead. Well, historic performance off the bench for Travis Lulay last week. Third ever to pass for over 400 yards in a relief role. With more on his terrific performance, here's Farhan Lalji.
Chris, that performance comes because Travis Lulay has always done a very good job of preparing like the starter, both on the practice field and in the film room. But he said one of the things he forgot was all of the extra responsibilities off the field when you're the starter, all of the media responsibilities, all of the extra sponsor work that the club asks you to do. Usually he's leading the charge when Jennings is taking long, saying, come on, John, we got to get into the film room. Would you cut all that stuff out? Well, now his teammates are saying that to Lulay this week. Come on, Travis, let's get into the film room. And that might be the only place where he concedes there's a bit of a difference in his preparation from backup to starter. He says the one thing he really enjoyed this week is going into the film room, and it's him watching himself on film. He said he got a little more out of that this week as he prepared for the Bombers.
Fun watching the post-game celebration last week. He got a game ball from Jeremiah Johnson, who said, well, he's been chilling for the last couple of weeks, and Lulay got the ball and said, I've been doing more than chilling. Here's Rainey. And Rainey trying to weave out of trouble. Can't do it. He's hauled down. Tackle on the special teams made by Javon Santos-Knox.
Well, when you take a look at how this has all evolved for Travis Lulay, his last official start back in 2015, took a couple of years with the bad shoulder, took the back seat to Jonathan Jennings, the quarterback of the future and the now for this football team, but through it all, but nothing but a pro from Travis Lulay. Continued to prepare, as Farhan mentioned, but beyond that, done everything as the backup to help his team win, including a couple weeks ago finding a play that Wally Buono needed to challenge.
5 touchdowns on 14 possessions last week. The wide side throw, complete to Burnham, turns it up and has a first down.
You know, this is a guy that, former MOP, that could have asked to be traded, could have asked to go and get that starting job on another team, but he loves this organization. He settled into that role. He became the best backup and mentor to Jonathan Jennings that he could be. Just that's the ultimate teammate, to be able to do that, play your role as best you can, and now he's getting a chance to get out there and play again.
First down at the 32. Johnson with a couple yards on that pickup.
And he's familiar with some of these receivers. I mean, with Nick Moore and then, of course, Brian Burnham. Didn't have a big night, but he had, as you mentioned, Chris, maybe one of the best catches ever. I mean, when you consider the degree of difficulty, getting basically tackled, one hand on it, and keeping the ball off the turf. Maybe the best catch you've ever seen in the regular season, for sure.
Spectacular stuff. 2nd and 8. Pressure off the edge. Lulay steps up, looks for Burnham, and he brings it down. How about that catch in double coverage?
Well, stepping up and on the run, making every throw in the book now. And Brian Burnham, watch the strong hands, high pointing the ball with 2 defenders around him. Strong hands, doesn't even pull it into his body.
Already 82 yards receiving for Burnham. 26 on that catch. First down into Winnipeg territory. Now to Shaq Johnson. And he's spun down by Santos-Knox. Let's take another look at that latest catch by Burnham.
Well, he high points the ball, first of all, but he gets up there and just with his hands alone, those strong hands, does not lose the football. Carmichael tried to swipe at it.
13 for 256 in the 2 games against Winnipeg last year. Now, Iannucci's into the action. Once again, Lulay is spreading the football around, had 8 different receivers last week in Hamilton.
Like what Matt Dunnigan said before the game in the pregame, just said, you know, he's playing on house money. He's loose, he's letting it rip, and Travis Lulay's got that snap back in his arm. He's making every throw on the field.
11 for Iannuzzi and a first down. Lule over the middle, and that's incomplete. Intended for Arsenault. We saw that terrific catch, and we asked Brian Burnham how the heck he made it.
That's what's crazy. I had one catch for 6 yards, and that's all I hear about is that one catch. So, no, I'm excited about it, but personally, I think it overshadowed some of the other accomplishments that guys had that night. Nick Moore for 220 yards. I mean, I would have been a little disappointed if I was him, but.
Yeah, the guy with 2 for 9 got more attention than the 200-yard receiver. Haven't heard from Nick Moore yet. We'll hear from Arsenault again, and he dropped the football. A drop by Arsenault around the 15-yard line. Now they're going to rule a catch.
They're going to get up and call it before this can be challenged by Michael O'Shea.
Are we going to get
O'Shea got the challenge flag out in time.
Yeah, that's not a catch.
And I don't think Manny Arsenault secured it before he lost the handle.
Winnipeg is challenging the ruling that it's an incomplete pass. We'll review the play.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for Mike O'Shea is that really he has to waste a challenge on what should have been a clear-cut incompletion.
Well, let's take a look. Slowed it down a little bit.
And that's in slow motion.
Yeah, that looks like incomplete pass to me. He just did not control it with that contact around his legs from Brandon Alexander.
Good hustle by Alexander to not give up on the play. Ty Long looks like he's getting ready for a field goal attempt.
Good to see that Ty Long is okay.
After review, we have an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
It'll be 3rd down. The field goal unit comes on, and you get a indication of whether or not Ty Long will be hampered by that punt block hit from Derek Jones. Going to be a 40-yard attempt. Only missed by Long from 42 out in week 1. And this one's through. So no damage done to the kicker. And BC regains the lead. Friday Night Football continues tomorrow. Blue Bombers take on the Lions. Coverage begins 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on TSN 1, 3, and 4. Kevin Glenn going for over 50,000 yards passing. Do the Stamps lose 2 in a row?
They haven't in a long time, no.
Andrew Harris off the right side, big run, and Harris has a first down here for Winnipeg in the final minute of this opening quarter.
Yeah, nice play calling here for Winnipeg. Paul LaPolice, the offensive coordinator, just getting Andrew Harris back involved. When you're getting lots of pressure on your quarterback, like Matt Nichols has seen in this first quarter, the way to slow that pressure down is going back to the run game. So LaPolice, who Matt Nichols said this week is the best coordinator he's ever had in the Canadian Football League.
Up to the 47, first down. Nichols unloads. Watch Darvin Adams, and it's incomplete. Coverage on the play by the corner, Ronnie Yell.
Matt Nichols was shaking that right hand as if he may have hit a helmet in this throw. Let's take a look when he steps up into the pocket to let this one go. Yeah, he got the forearm. It looks like, is it Feder?
That's newcomer Deshaun Davis getting his first action of the year. 2nd and 10. Nichols out of the pocket on the run, and quick throw after him and cuts him down. Death Row showing his mobility from his defensive end spot.
Well, if it's registered as...
Hey, Nichols, nice run.
It's the final play of the opening quarter. Travis Lulay at the controls, an early touchdown to Manny Arsenault, but a big punt block. The team's coming up for Winnipeg, and Lefebvre gets it in. 9-7 after one quarter. Check the stats after the opening quarter. Another slow start offensively for the Bombers, not for Travis Lulay.
Not at all, and Travis Lulay looks great. Some of the accuracy on his throws, he's got every throw in the book. He can make that deep ball throw. The two corners, the one to Burnham, the one to Manny Arsenault, as good as I've seen him. That's the MOP form from Travis Lulay. That's good news for the Lions. For the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, I think Andrew Harris may be the key. Slow down that pass rush. Matt Nichols has had a lot of pressure on him in that first quarter. Get Andrew Harris involved.
And a newcomer at the outside linebacker spot that they're going to match him up against, so it'll indeed be an interesting matchup between Micah Awe and Andrew Harris here tonight. Medlock to punt. This is a short kick off the side of his foot. The one hopper for Rainey. But Santos knocks down in a hurry to make sure he doesn't get anywhere. Mike Miller also in on the tackle. And Lulay brings the offense back.
Travis Lulay against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers as a starter is .500. To get in the 4-4 against the Bombers' career.
Yeah, kind of average numbers, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Head-to-head against Winnipeg. Fake inside, or not a fake, it is a run for Jeremiah Johnson.
Great move. Great move when he gets in the open field. The great backs make their move while they're moving quickly forward. And this cut when he gets around the edge there, that little shake and bake on Brandon Alexander, who's playing his first game at linebacker. 17-yard gain for Jeremiah Johnson.
Boy, he's had plenty of spring in his step since the season started. Second in the league in rushing so far. 17 on that carry. First down at the 45. They'll drop it off to Rainey. And what a move that was. Oh, he's still going. Gets a block. And Chris Rainey finally angled out inside the 25. Well, he left a few ankles.
Wow. Breaking ankles. Exactly what he's doing. He's breaking ankles out there. Sam Hurl. Sam Hurl has him. Look at that hard cut back inside. Sam Hurl's grabbing an air there. Cut back against the flow on 3 Bomber defenders. Tremendous balance. Wow.
6 carries for 3 yards in the first 4 games of the year. 37 on that romp, and now Lulay pumps. So fired underneath. Nick Moore's got a catch now after that huge game last week in which he had 10 for 220 for Player of the Week honors.
Yeah, big game. Now, keep in mind that Travis Lulay knows Nick Moore well before he signed as a free agent for Winnipeg a couple years ago and then came back to the Lions. He worked with Lulay. In fact, his biggest season was with Travis Lulay. So there's some chemistry automatically there. 11 targets, 10 catches.
4th in the league in receiving. Leading the Lions in that department, of course, a former Winnipeg Blue Bomber first down. Quickly into the hands of Burnham again. Prime target tonight. And finally corralled around the 5-yard line. Loeffler wouldn't let him go.
Travis Lulay right now closing in on 200 yards in this first half. 185 with this catch.
Yeah, they said yesterday that 400's kind of a one-off, but maybe not, as he's on pace for.
Well, maybe you heard Milt Stegall say he can't do that again.
Off inside, Johnson, touchdown. Jeremiah Johnson, a 5-yard touchdown run to increase the Lion lead.
Second effort to cross the goal line from Jeremiah Johnson. What a tremendous play fake, though, from Travis Lulay. You know you've run a great play fake when you get tackled and you don't have the ball. Now for Jamal Westerman, that's his assignment, but tremendous play fake, sets it up. Second effort on that sidestep move, and Jeremiah Johnson's in the end zone. Touchdown in every game for the Lions this year.
He's the only player in the CFL so far with a touchdown in every game. 5 plays, 82-yard drive, though. Go for 2 once again, unsuccessful on their first 2-point attempt. They emptied out this time, going to pass, and Rainey's got it. 2 for number 2. And it's 17-7 BC. Number 14 is on fire. What a great fake tackle by Westerman, but celebrates the touchdown for Johnson.
Sometimes you just dial up the right play, and the BC Lions are going to catch Winnipeg in a linebacker stunt from Sam Hurl away from the direction they're running the football. Hurl's trying to step up in that B gap, but Jeremiah Johnson's going opposite B gap between guard and tackle, and that puts Kyle Knox in a bind in a chase position.
Hey, and we at it again, baby. Let's go. I love you, Nelly, Isaac, and Jordan. Family fair.
Ryan Langford at his 16-yard line. And Langford, a little room across the 30 to near the 35. Brian Lalchi with a special guest on the sidelines.
With Commissioner Randy Ambrosie, this is stop 5 of your 9-city tour. And what struck you most as you've gone through that process?
Oh, it's just been how enthusiastic the fans are, how much fun the fans are having in all of our buildings, and there's always something that I'm seeing that teams are doing a little bit differently, and I'm looking forward to sharing that and trying to do the best of the best, like a best practices idea. But mostly it's been just how warm and welcoming people have been.
I want to ask you about the league's involvement with the BC wildfires crisis going on right now in this province. What can you tell us?
Yeah, you know what? I think it all started with Dennis Skulski here in BC with the Lions, and he put a call into me and asked if we could do something as a league. We sent an email, and within about 25 minutes, all the teams said they were in and they wanted to make a contribution. So we've made a donation on behalf of the CFL. The other thing is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on their away 50-50 draw tonight. They're donating the proceeds from their 50-50 draw to the fire, to the Red Cross. You know, and I can't think of anything more Canadian really than, you know, helping Canadians in need, and the CFL is just proud to be part of it.
Thanks for this and enjoy the tour.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And Chris, if people want to donate, they can text the word FIRES, and the number to text is 30333.
And fans living in Manitoba can purchase 50-50 tickets before every away game that the Blue Bombers play.
BC is challenging that there was a fumble before down by contact, and they immediately recovered. We'll review the play.
So they're going to review. The Bombers thought that they got a play off before the challenge flag from Wally Buono. This is what the command center's looking at, and it looks like that ball is indeed out.
Valerian.
Tom Valesi has the verdict.
After review, we have a fumble before down by contact, which was immediately recovered by BC. It'll be their ball, first down.
That replay to commercial showed you that it looked like it was Max Ford who punched it out of the control of Andrew Harris, recovered by Solomon Elimimian.
Well, great hustle by Elimimian to stay back and involved in the play. He was on the opposite side of the field and recovers this fumble, but you can see it's out before Andrew Harris's knee touches the ground, and there the ball loose behind him. Elimimian gets the fumble recovery.
Lions start, Bomber 46. Lule from the pocket, and it's intercepted. Kyle Knox gets it right back for Winnipeg. And Knox dropped around the 42-yard line. There is a flag in the Lions backfield.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Winnipeg number 95, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's against Jake Thomas, and it takes the Knox interception off the board.
Let's take a look.
61 reporting, 61 reporting, 6-1 reporting.
Well, that was borderline at best. Takes an interception by Kyle Knox off the board.
First down, direct snap. It's Rainey again with a cutback, but tripped up on a good defensive play by Rock Carmichael.
That's a big defensive play off the board. Let's take another look at that hit on Travis Lule. I'm just trying to figure out exactly why this is called roughing the passer, because it looked like Jake Thomas's shoulder went into the chest here of Lule, and it wasn't with the
I don't see that
helmet.
Nothing low from the other player. It's Thomas that drew the penalty, but
big shoulder to the chest area. Unless they said it was late contact, but very close.
2nd and 6. Short drop, Arsenault, and it's by him incomplete. And Arsenault kind of looked at Moore to figure out if it was heading to him.
You know, TJ Heath was on that side in coverage, and I think Travis Lule stepped up in there, saw 23, know what, and has done his film work on Heath and his 4 interceptions, and didn't want to try and fit that one in and just kind of overthrow it.
So Ty Long comes back, a 34-yard attempt. Drills that through, and it's a 13-point lead. Ty Long's late. Looks like it's okay. Closed captioning brought to you by PizzaHotline.ca. Try our Blue Bomber touchdown deal and get 3 medium pizzas with any 2 toppings of your choice and 6 cans of any Pepsi product. Back in Vancouver, you heard Randy Ambrosi talk about the efforts by the league to support the Red Cross and the wildfire situation in BC, and we mentioned the 50-50 draw going on in Winnipeg, and you can still buy tickets, Bomber fans, at bluebombers.com/5050 before midnight tonight.
Just want to say a quick shout out to all the first responders, firefighters. They're out there fighting those fires in the interior of BC. I know my teammates at the 417 Rescue Squadron in Cold Lake are often called. They were with us up in Fort Mac, and out there doing their jobs every day.
2nd and short. Harris with a straight arm and a first down with extra yards after the catch down to the BC 48-yard line. That's an 18-yard pickup for Harris.
Going to the quick game a little bit here. The Bombers trying to get the ball out of Matt Nichols' hands a little bit quicker with the pressure he's faced early in this game. It's kind of bogged down this offense. This time it was Lefevre, but trying to get it out of their hands quickly.
More than 5 completions to Harris in the game. And into the hands of the newcomer, TJ Thorpe, with a catch and a first down. Well, they liked Thorpe in the preseason, but then he got hurt, and they've had to wait until game 4 to get him in the lineup.
Split college between Virginia and North Carolina, and TJ Thorpe in the lineup for LaDamian Washington.
A guy who got the body type comparisons to Arlen Bruce. Physical, receiver, swinging here to Darvin Adams. He'll cut back and weave his way down to the 24-yard line, and that's a first down.
You know, this play calling is an adjustment by Paul LaPolice. It's the quick screens. It's getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly in an effort to get the BC Lions to switch back over to man-to-man. And then he gets those matchups he wants, maybe Darvin Adams or Weston Dressler in a one-on-one. But the quick game is to try and get BC out of the zone look.
12 yards for Adams, first down. And they'll hand it off to Dressler here. So a lot of different ways to incorporate the receivers, and Dressler has 8.
I'm not sure Matt Nichols wanted to give him the ball there. I think Dressler just kind of took it, saw an opening, and said, I'll take it.
You're not throwing it to me. He doesn't have a catch, but he has 2 runs for 21. Now rolling out a little bootleg, thrown into the end zone. Touchdown! Clarence Denmark, who had touchdowns in each game against BC last year, has one here.
Chandler Fenner got into a chase. He lost Denmark, who was the guy he was supposed to cover. You'll see him at the top of your screen here. He's trying to chase and find his man. Then he's got way inside position number 39, and look at the separation Clarence Denmark has on the corner route.
Been a quiet start to the year of Denmark, but a touchdown catch here to get the Bombers back in at first touchdown of the season for Denmark, who had 7 last year. Good response drive by the Bombers. 6 plays, 75 yards. And now Medlock adds the extra point number 1,000 for Justin Medlock in his outstanding CFL career.
Sometimes, Chris, you've got to do a nice job route running, like the Manny Arsenal corner route in that same corner of the end zone here in BC Place. He had to run a real good route and stick it. This one is just get there as quick as you can, because Chandler Fenner is in a chase position. He sees the guy that's supposed to be covering him that's way inside number 39, so he just gets to that corner as quickly as he possibly can. Nice throw on the run going the opposite way from Matt Nichols.
Denmark a game-winning touchdown and a game-tying touchdown late last year in the 2 regular season games.
Monster drive and monster play there for Clarence Denmark. This one was starting to look like it might slip away, and Winnipeg just closed the gap big time.
What we learned last year in the season series of the Western Semi is the old CFL adage, no lead is safe. Not in this matchup. On the return, brought down across the 30, Thomas Miles and Mike Miller on the scene. Well, join us at the half for the GMC Professional Grade Playbook tonight. Henry Burris on the touch pass versus the torch.
Ooh. Lifting the ball a little bit, spotting it to a place on the field rather than putting heat on it and getting it in there.
By the way, Travis Lulay, one of only 2 Lion quarterbacks dressed tonight, Alex Ross the other. Usually there's 3. Wally Buono says he does not remember ever in a game where, because of injury, the number 3 guy has had to go in and finish. Here's Burnham flying again, just to finish that story, as Burnham goes over 100 here in the first half. Wally did add that once he had to use the number 3 guy because the first 2 were hurt, and it was Henry Burris.
Quarterback factory back in Calgary when Wally Buono was back there. Flutie went through there. Garcia went through there. Dave Dickinson.
In that case, it was Dickinson and McCoy both unavailable. Here's Jeremiah Johnson. And up at the 50-yard line.
Well, he said he was
looking like
the
an MOP,
yeah, absolutely. And take a look at top Lion quarterbacks in history. Roy DeWalt, when it comes to wins, #1 at 65. And our producer John Hines reminded us that every one of those quarterbacks are Grey Cup champions. BC Lions.
Top 5 all to the winner's circle. And here was still a lot of time in the first half. Travis Lulay at 206 yards passing and more. Shaquille Johnson to the Bomber 50-yard line.
Shaquille Johnson's playing with some confidence. Got that first touchdown. Got that out of the way against Hamilton last week. Travis Lulay getting out to that wide side, and that's a confident catch by Johnson.
14 more. First down, Winnipeg 50. Bombers 8th in the league against the pass, and Lulay exposing that here. Look out! Did Iannuzzi hold on? He did. That's a tough 5 yards for Marco Iannuzzi.
Whoa. That was solid.
That's Brian Walker from his cornerback spot. But Marco held on.
Looks like he'll be okay. That's good to see. That was a solid hit. And a clean hit from Brian Walker, playing the corner for Brandon Alexander, who's moved to linebacker.
Alexander moving into the spot. Vacated tonight. Mo Leggett unable to go. 2nd and 5. Open man, Danny Vandervoort's got it. #3 pick in the draft out of McMaster, and he moves the chains.
That's a long throw to get it to the wide side of the field from the hash mark on the opposite side with pressure in his face and falling away from it for Lulay to get that ball all the way outside there. That's a long throw.
Big throw for the kid, 25 years of age. Danny Vandervoort, the 8th different receiver here in the opening 27 minutes. Lions knock at the door again. Jeremiah Johnson kicks it outside, down inside the 5, and pushed out at the 2. Boy, all the weapons on display here for the Lions in this first half. Heath and Johnson jawing, but Jeremiah outside, and he has 16 more. Lions 1st and goal.
I love you too.
Studio 3 minutes to halftime coming up. Milton Matty and their thoughts on Travis Lulay and what he's been doing for an encore so far. Plus some thoughts on the Lions defense, and Derek Taylor with the details on Brian Burnham, who's having himself a half as we go back to Vancouver to Chris and Glenn.
Okay, Rod, 20 points on the board for the Lions, and 1st and goal from the 2.
Yeah, Milt said he wasn't going to have another 400-plus game. He's at 248 in the first half, on pace for 500.
Yeah, well, that's what Milt meant. He might get 500.
I gotcha.
Well, Lulay usually operates short yardage even with Jennings, and he'll kick it out and get stopped. Good defensive play there by Jackson Jeffcoat, the defensive end.
I'll show you that play with a nice run from Jeremiah Johnson. He gets a key block off the edge from Hunter Stewart, working on Jamal Westerman. Look at Hunter Stewart step out, drive him, Westerman, get him on his roller skates a little bit right there to the ready screen, keep pushing him, hold off that contain man just long enough for his running back to get the edge and get outside. Nice block off the edge from Hunter Stewart. Now he needs to get 2 more. Drive this into the end zone.
Nick Moore checked back into the offense, so they look like they might pass here on 2nd and goal. They're going to hand it off, and Johnson's going to pound it in. Chris Rainey, into the end zone. Touchdown. Second touchdown of the year for Chris Rainey.
And back-to-back blocks by Stewart. Right in your screen, down block on Jamal Westerman. Kyle Knox also sealed. And they reestablish the line of scrimmage 2 yards deep in the end zone. It's a nice series by 67.
Got a little heat in the first game or two of the season with that offensive line settling in. And integral in an 8-play, 78-yard touchdown drive. And Ty Long adds the extra point, 27 here in the first half for the Lions, who scored 41 last week in Hamilton.
Double down blocks here, David Foucault and Hunter Stewart. Now watch as they block down here and seal the edge. They're going to get a little help here from the fullback, Rolly Lumbala, and Chris Rainey comes around that corner. That side of the offensive line collapsed. Alexander can't bring him down. He's coming up to try and help from the secondary linebacking position, and back up John Jennings like that offensive line play. Who's now the backup with Lule out there?
Another case of the Bombers almost over-respecting Lule's ability to run the football.
Yeah, and I think this is well blocked too, Chris. I mean, they
Polk County in the house all day.
Got off the ball and drive blocked.
Yeah.
So the Lions offense hitting on all cylinders now. And an important 2 minutes or so for the Bombers to respond before this first half's done. Langford trying to set it up. And he slashes through, cuts it back, and weaves his way. Took the scenic route, didn't he? Up across the 45-yard line.
Well, he got the Bombers off to a good start last week against the Toronto Argonauts with the opening kickoff return for a touchdown, just 105 yards there. And some sweep moves in the open field here and back and forth across the field. Good field position for Matt Nichols. He can go pedal to the metal here. He's got lots of time. Put some points on the board.
Langford coming into the game second in all-purpose yards in the league. Here's Nichols. And he goes back to TJ Thorpe, and Elamimian there with the tackle, the leading tackler in the CFL.
Fumble recovery also in this first half for Solomon Elamimian.
Up to 37 tackles on the year. TJ Thorpe has his second catch. 2nd and 5. It's Harris out of the backfield. First down. And a hurdle for Andrew Harris to punctuate the play.
Take a look at the athleticism. Andrew Harris can run over you, can run around you, or he can jump right on top.
Over Keenan Parker, now Fiole Gadino, and he breaks the first tackle and gets pushed out at the first down stick by Fenner. And that would move the chains, but there is a flag down. And there's also an injured lion, Keenan Parker. Checking to see who.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg 69. 15-yard penalty. First down repeated.
Penalty against the right guard, Suk Chung, the Port Coquitlam native. Back the right side of that offensive line, all with BC roots. Matthias Gosen out of Richmond and Vancouver College. Suk Chung for Port Coquitlam. And Jamarcus Hardrick, the right tackle, a former Lion. So Matt Buckner will come in for Keenan Parker.
Take a look at the Suk Jung penalty first. He's inside here. I'll show him to you again as this pitcher spreads out a little bit. He's going to get tangled up off the edge here, coming out to help. Right there. And it looked like as they went down here, he may have turned around and kicked him.
So that's a second injury, we believe, in the Lions secondary. Don't see Anthony Gator out there. And now Parker being helped to the sidelines. So a former Blue Bomber checks in for the Lions in Matt Buckner. Let's check in with Farhan.
Yeah, guys, in the first quarter, Anthony Gator left this game with a Charlie horse in his left quad. Doesn't look like he'll return. He's out of his shoulder pads right now, and Keenan Parker favoring his right wrist. So as you mentioned, Matt Buckner, now the third string field halfback. And when Parker came in, it looked like the Bombers are really making an effort to try to go to that side of the field and try to create some short passes with the expectation of Parker trying to come up and tackle. You saw what happened on the play with Andrew Harris where he hurdled him, and now look for them to go after Buckner here a little bit as well, as we've got a minute and a half left in this half.
So Anthony Thompson moves inside into Gator's spot, and now it's Buckner at the corner for Keenan Parker. But the injury, the penalty takes Winnipeg back to midfield. 1st and 25. Four-man rush. Nichols a pump underneath to Dressler. And he's dropped at the Lion 50-yard line. 135th consecutive game for Weston Dressler, the 10-year veteran, with a catch. And closing in on the top 25 all-time. Came into the game needing 140 yards to catch Jim Young. Dirty 30 for top 25 status. There's Thornton a catch, and he is tossed down back at the original line of scrimmage around the 41-yard line. So it's 3rd down, and does the field goal unit come on?
It'll be interesting to see in the second half what Michael O'Shea and Paul LaPolice do to try and maybe game plan to take and attack some of the changes in the Lions secondary. Now the problem with that is you need time to go to the wide field or to go deep down the middle and challenge Anthony Thompson, who's right now playing free safety in the middle for BC, or Buckner to the wide field. It takes time to get the ball out there.
Oh! A little side kick here. Look out, Mike Miller! Kept down at the 10-yard line. Flag comes down, and Mike O'Shea, the special teams guru,
24 was onside on the play, so there is no flag for no yards. It'll be 1st down Winnipeg.
So just the way they drew it up.
Yeah, and Miller is hidden in the sideline. Now the new rule in the CFL is he would have had to come out to the number and then back to that spot. So we assume he did that before the snap, but as long as he's behind the kick, he can go and recover it immediately, which he does. Great trick play by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
That rule had just been altered. And now is Wally Buono challenging that he did not come on the field.
The flag fell out of the coach's pocket. He's not challenging the play.
So there is no challenge.
Well, let's take a look and look down to the bottom of your screen to see if Mike Miller, 2 guys come out and Miller comes back in. He's got to go to the number now.
Nichols, and an open man, Adams, foot down, touchdown.
Little change motion to the right side for Matt Nichols. He's going to have Darvin Adams from the wideout slide down and become the slot, and change motion with Weston Dressler, who becomes the wideout. Darvin Adams on the corner route.
Second touchdown of the year for Adams. Talked to Kyle Walters, the GM, prior to the game. He said if we can get Adams and Denmark more involved, well, they both got touchdowns here in the first half, and that's an important major for the Bombers late in this first half.
Well, a huge one. I mean, that trick play. Watch Darvin Adams. Quick corner move, and TJ Lee, who had an interception last week, got caught looking in the backfield just way too long. Both feet inbounds. You only need one, but he got both down and secured the catch. Nice throw by Matt Nichols. I'm sure there's some Lions fans. The new rule is you can't run a sleeper play.
Right, and that's the exact reason why they made the change. So the old-fashioned sleeper play from many, many years gone by would be avoided. And you explained it right. He has to come onto the field to the hash marks before he can disappear again.
The other side of the numbers, and then come back, and he can then line up right along the sideline and kind of mix into his bench. But he's got to go out past the numbers and then come back. I'm not sure he did that, but they got away with it. And Darvin Adams gets him on the board and closes the gap.
Well, the way things have gone in this first half, there's still plenty of time. Chris Rainey thinks so. But finally brought down at the 32-yard line. Santos knocks another tackle.
Well, let's take a look again just at that trick play. Now, you see guys coming off, Darvin Adams coming off, you see Thorpe coming off. Miller's down at the bottom of the screen right there, and through that process, I did not see him get out there past the numbers. So essentially, that's the old-fashioned sleeper play.
What a first half for Travis Lule. But just a 6-point lead back in the hands of Iannuzzi, who takes another hit from Brian Walker. Well, last year was high scoring, and it was close, and no lead safe. The Lions lost the first game when they were stopped inside the 5, 3rd and 1 in the last minute. Bombers scored 13 points here in the final 3 minutes and change to win the rematch. And it was a 19-point deficit for the Lions in that wild Western semi. Hand off inside, and it's going to be a first down.
Well, this goes back. I mean, this matchup, 12 of the last 19. So how many years back is that between these two teams? Has gone down to a 3-point game or less.
Looks like both are on their way to over 30 points again here tonight. One more play and the first half's done. Lule takes a knee and they'll head to the locker rooms. Just a 48-point first half. Travis Lule puts 27 on the board. Lions with a 6-point lead as we head back to the studio. Rod Smith in the pen.
Thank you, CC. Gee, wonder if there's anything to talk about in this first half.
Goodness.
My head is swimming right now. Back with Milt Stegall and Matt Dunnigan. Well, lots to talk about. Let's start with Travis Lule. We did ask the question off the top. Do you think he can do this again? He's over halfway to 500.
Yeah, and he set a personal best with 436 last week. He's well on his way to breaking that. And ball's not flying out of his hand like it did last week. Chris tight spirals, but the ball's getting there certainly, and it's getting there often. In fact, 8 different receivers have caught passes in the first half. And he's not afraid of pushing the football down the field. He found Burnham. Now he gets Manny his first touchdown. As a simple corner route. Here steps up in the pocket, fires it wide side, finds Burnham and high points it. Burnham's having a half, Mill. Aren't you glad he took him up fantasy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then here, it's just, get Nick Moore involved. We had 220 last week and 210. And then here, 2-point, why not spread it around? A little gainy in the end zone. Travis Lule is feeling it against a defense that I just didn't think it would give up. 27 points in the first half against Travis, even though if he's having a good day. It's just mind-boggling that they're going to work on such a good defense like they are.
Yeah, now Winnipeg offensively in the second quarter did start to get it going against the tough Lions defense, but it's special teams that's keeping them in this game.
No kidding. The only reason they're in this game, don't get me wrong, the offense is definitely taking advantage of it, but the special teams play. You look at this first one. Derrick Jones knifing through, blocking a punt. Winnipeg getting great field position, and they took advantage of it. This was what they did last year. They had great special teams play, great defense, and they would score. And this right here, this is a play. This is why coaches want to close practices every now and then, because you're only going to get one opportunity to practice that play. You're only going to get one opportunity to execute that play in the game, and they were able to do it. Reason why they're in this game.
But was that legal? You heard Glenn Suter talking about it. It looked like a sleeper play. Did Mike Miller?
It was legal. It worked, didn't it? They didn't throw a flag on it, so it was legal.
We don't want to get the flags. We don't
they didn't get caught.
No.
And you know what? I want to say something to Glenn Suter. He said that I said that Lule couldn't get it done. Glenn, he's getting it done. Stop saying my name. I'm getting tired of you saying my name. He's getting it done. I'm sorry.
I tell you what, I don't get tired of seeing is Chris Rainey run the football like he ran the football.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
This is unbelievable, Rod. This is absolutely. These are grown men. These are professional tacklers, hitters that he is just juking right outside of their cleats. That's 3 of them in one play.
Matt, you think they got ankle insurance? Because they're going to need it right there, huh?
That was insane.
He's a special player.
People don't realize just how those guys are gifted athletes
They really
that he's
are.
making look silly out there.
Okay, Brian Burnham, another gifted athlete for the BC Lions. Derek Taylor has the details on him coming up at the half Friday Night Football.
Stands in the pocket. He'll take a shot deep. Brian Burnham's got it.
45-yard gain for Burnham, and he had a pretty catch last week, too.
Lule steps up, looks for Burnham, and he brings it down. How about that catch in double coverage? Now they'll drop it off to Rainey, and what about that was? Oh, he's still going.
Wow, he's breaking ankles out there.
Yay. CFL grade and Grey Cup champion Henry Burvis with the GMC Professional Grade Playbook.
Some quarterbacks love to throw it touch while others love to throw it through you.
Jennings on a roll, airing it out deep, jump ball, Moore's got it, inside the 5.
There's no preferred style as long as the job is completed, but both have enjoyed success in the game of football. However, both have been labeled. The strong-armed have no touch or aren't even accurate, where the accurate touch passer has that weak arm. But one thing is, a crowd loves it when a quarterback throws a torch downfield for a deep bomb or lasers a pass in between 2 defenders. It's like Mike Riley throwing a bullet and placing it right on the chest of a Darius Bowman. Well, compared to the artistry of a teardrop or touch pass that you know is money each time he lets it go. It's like Ricky Ray throwing the perfect corner out time and time again. Regardless, both style of quarterbacks have enjoyed success in the game of football, and that's flat out, period. To start off our Saturday, we'll talk about the importance of special teams in the return game as Saskatchewan travels to Calgary.
Coming up, Week 5 continues tomorrow in Calgary. The Stampeders coming off a loss last week against the Riders, coming off a win and a bye. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Brian Burnham having a great night for BC. 5 catches, 107. Let's go to DT with more.
I'm Derek Taylor with the details on Brian Burnham. That catch.
Lule throws to the end zone, and the pass is caught.
Might be the best one we see this season. That it came from Burnham, not a surprise. In the details, we track tough catches. Loosely, they're catches we don't expect a CFL receiver to make, and we won't fault him if he doesn't. It might be in tight coverage, getting thumped by a defender, or you're just the toughest guy around. Since the beginning of 2016, Burnham has far more of these tough catches than anybody. He's in fact the only player in double digits, 2 of them this season already. Comparing them to the receiver's total number of targets, Burnham is just as far ahead. 11% of his targets have been him making a tough catch. Renowned and confirmed playmaker S.J. Green comes in at a very healthy 7.7%. For every receiver who makes a tough catch, there's a quarterback who benefited from it. Thanks to Burnham and Manny Arsenault, Jonathan Jennings has gotten an unexpected favor on 4.4% of his throws. Conversely, Matt Nichols and Mike Riley, they look like they're owed a few. All those tough catches show up in a stat we call a receiver's grab rate. It's the number of catches he made compared to how many we expect him to make. Burnham led the league in grab rate in 2016 and has slipped a bit behind Brad Sinopoli as we add in this season. Still, 12.5 catches more than expected is a great number. There is one question we have about Burnham's game. What on earth is he going to do next?
He indeed has had a great night for the BC Lions. The Bombers are down, but a couple of special teams plays. One, by the way, we heard from Glenn Johnson. It was totally legal, and they're in this. They're down by... At the half, Lions by 6. Here's Matty with the stats.
Yeah, we talked about Travis Lulay's brilliant game last week. Brilliant first half here against a tough defense. What you don't see on there is points after turnovers and great plays on special teams for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
And here's Lulay now with Farhan Lalji.
Well, you weren't sure you could do it again, but you're now on pace for 500 yards, 8 different receivers already for you in the first half. What's going right for you right now?
We're doing a good job of moving the ball. We're doing a good job on first downs. It's putting us in favorable second downs, and we're doing a good job of converting. Got bailed out on one pick with a late hit, but pretty consistent moving the ball first half, and we're going to need more in the second.
You also got Manny and Brian a bit more involved. They weren't involved a ton last week. Was that important for you to do?
Well, yeah, they're a couple of our biggest offensive weapons, and we're going to take what the defense gives them. If those guys don't get a ton of opportunities, we have to take advantage when we see them, and getting them going early was good. Back-to-back plays on the first scoring drive, hitting Burnham down here, and then Manny in the corner, I think, gave those guys good momentum, which gives our offense good momentum.
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks, guys.
Be a sleeper play on special teams only when a receiver's involved. That's why it counts. That's why Winnipeg is that much closer. Down by 6, second half coming up. For every touchdown scored today and all season long, Safeway and Sobeys are proud to donate $250 to Special Olympics Canada. Second half about to get underway at BC Place as we go back to Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Suter.
Another game in the Wild West, 27-21 BC the lead. Farhan Lalji with Andrew Harris.
Andrew, you've done most of your damage in that first half coming out of the backfield on receptions. I know you're pretty comfortable with that. Are there some matchups you guys are trying to take advantage of?
I mean, they play a lot of match, a lot of man, so we're just trying to get them situations to get guys open and mix matches. So it's been working out sometimes, but we just got to be more consistent on first down and convert those seconds.
How about that hurdle? Where'd that come from? We haven't seen that in a while.
I did it a couple weeks ago, man. No, I mean, just you got to take opportunity when opportunity comes. These guys are trying to hit me low, so I got to go over top sometimes.
What about how you guys just keep fighting all three phases, even with the trick play? How much fun is that for you guys?
That's what we are. We're dogs out there. And this is going to be a slugfest, and it's going to go down to about who has the ball with the last possession. So, I mean, we know that, and we just got to start fast in the second half here.
Thanks, Andrew. Thank you.
7 touches, 76 yards for Harris in the opening half. Here we go, second half of this big Western Division showdown. Ryan Langford on the return up across the 35, and he gets it over the 40. I think I want Mike O'Shea as my lawyer because he has the loopholes.
He has found a loophole, and we had to dig into the rule book here real deep because there is a rule that doesn't allow substitution to disguise a player on the sideline. In other words, he has to go out 11 yards away from the sideline on a sleeper play. They eliminated that, so he can't do it. Mike O'Shea found a loophole. It says nothing in the rule book about kicking the ball to him, only throwing the ball to a receiver. He's not an eligible receiver.
Just the third run of the game for Andrew Harris, and a good one up to midfield and a first down for Winnipeg. And by the way, it does not affect Justin Medlock's kicking streak, which continues on at 28. They're considering that an onside kick and not a field goal attempt. Low pass incomplete. Denmark couldn't take it off his shoe tops.
So that's a great play call by Mike O'Shea in finding that loophole, which I'm sure will be closed at Rules Committee.
Because we can confirm the BC Lion management upstairs was not happy.
No.
That play was allowed. Second and 10 from midfield. 4 receivers far side. Looking short side. Nothing there. He'll dump it off, and Harris not going anywhere. Quick close on the play to contain Andrew Harris. And it was Chandler Fenner there defensively.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a late flag here, Chris. The offense is coming back on.
Objectionable conduct, BC number 8. 10-yard penalty, first down Winnipeg.
Anthony Thompson, that penalty gives Winnipeg a fresh set of downs.
Anthony Thompson started at the wide side corner with the injuries. He's back at free safety with Matt Buckner, third string DB at the wide side corner, and Chandler Fenner at halfback.
There's Harris with a cutback, gets tripped up around the 40. Let's set that Lions secondary with Farhan.
Yeah, guys, a bunch of changes, and you mentioned Buckner going to the corner spot. Luchez Purifoy and Chandler Fenner are also making changes. We're seeing Fenner playing at the field side half and Purifoy back to his nickel position, along with Thompson in the safety spot. All positions they've played before at some point. And as we mentioned, Keenan Parker, a dislocated shoulder. He'll be out for quite some time, guys.
And Nichols, crosser, Adams ducked away from first contact and converts on the second down. Now they're 5 for 10 on second down conversions. The Bombers after that catch by Adams.
And you got to think that Paul LaPolice and Matt Nichols also have noticed and seen the changes in the secondary. Nichols going to the wide field. Even though this is an underthrow, he's going to where all those changes that Farhan just mentioned have been made to the wide side of the field. Because on that short side, it's still Ronnie Yell and TJ Lee.
A lot of moving parts. See if the Bombers can expose it. First down at the 26. 6 receivers out. Pass is caught by Thorpe. Immediately brought down by Fenner, but Thorpe holds on and has his 4th catch of the game.
TJ Thorpe right here. Quick out against the zone. Quick close by Fenner. Not until after he made the catch.
Bombers were 3 for 9 in the red zone coming into the game. 3 for 3 tonight as they have first down at the 20. Nichols on a roll. It's opened up. He's going to take off to the 10 as a first down to the goal line. It's a touchdown, Matt Nichols. Longest run of the year for Nichols and his first touchdown of the season.
It's a little help at the end from Darvin Adams, who takes a couple of guys and cuts off their angles. The only guy who had a chance at it for the Lions was that wide side corner, Matt Buckner, and he beats him to the cone.
Had only 17 rushing yards coming into the game, 20 on that carry to pay dirt. And Winnipeg, a Medlock convert away from the lead. And all because the offense got to stay on the field because of an objectionable conduct penalty. Medlock gives Winnipeg the lead. Mike O'Shea's team has battled back and now leads 28-27.
One other change for the Lions was at linebacker with Micah Awe, and watch Andrew Harris come out of the backfield. Looks like he should have had contain on this play. Harris takes off and he takes him out of the backfield right here on this go route. That gets the corner for Matt Nichols, and once he's out around there with no containment, he just has to win the foot race to the cone, and does that on Matt Buckner.
So the Bombers are racing a 13-point deficit. Here comes Rainey from his 6. And Rainey contained as he brought down around the 25-yard line. Chris Rainey now with 193 all-purpose yards.
You know, you can kind of do the math, and I don't know the call in the huddle, but with Craig Rowe coming inside after that TD, Mark Washington right over to talk to the linebacking core and talk to Micah Awe and say, hey, that's not your guy down the middle. You got to leave that to the safety. You had containment.
You saw Elamimian back off too with Harris, so 2 defenders to 1 running back gave Nichols all the room he needed. Travis Lulay back to work. Shaq Johnson can't reel that pass in behind him, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
It's amazing how things change quickly, and it looked like, you know, with the great control that Travis Lulay had in that first half and running this offense, just clicking with all their weapons. And just like that, the Bombers come back. The trick play to end the half, grab some momentum there. Now they capitalize on it after the bad penalty and in the end zone with the lead. Now Travis got to keep pace. A little bit more pressure now, though.
2nd and 10. Send pressure, open man, and a pass caught by Nick Moore for a first down. 2nd catch for Moore on the night.
Nick Moore out there at that wideout spot. Comes off the line, nice release. He's playing against a high player and Chris Randall. High meaning he's got a deep outside third of the field. Cuts it underneath.
Lions now 7 of 11 in 2nd down conversions. Lulay punt one way, now rolls to the right side to throw that away.
I don't think Kahar Jones has to change really anything. I mean, it was a great first half for Travis Lulay. He was using all his weapons.
Interesting you word it like that, because he said he didn't have to change anything going from Jennings to Lulay either. That the offense fits the skill set of both quarterbacks. And for the 2nd straight week, Lulay has used 8 different receivers. Danny Vandervoort with his first CFL catch among it.
When 93 was inside us.
2nd and 10. Lulay gonna go deep. What's Iannuzzi? Great! No, he dropped it on contact, but it looked like he'd made a circus catch.
Like Loeffler tried to play the ball and just misjudged it and gave Iannuzzi a shot. And he just can't survive the contact. Sorry, Carmichael underneath, not Taylor Loeffler.
Iannuzzi had survived contact on that hellacious hit by Walker in the first half, but ground jarred that ball loose. Here's Langford bubbling back, and he gets tripped up. Deshaun Davis with the special teams tackle as Marco Iannuzzi thinks about the one that just got away. 1-point Bomber lead, Winnipeg with the football when we come back. Closed captioning brought to you by PizzaHotline.ca. Try our Blue Bomber touchdown deal and get 3 medium pizzas with any 2 toppings of your choice and 6 cans of any Pepsi product. Welcome back to the West Coast. This one living up to expectations. Looks one way, gonna go deep the other. Wanting and getting Darvin Adams. Up against Ronnie Yell, and Adams wins the battle.
Well, that's just a great all-around football play by Ronnie Yell, the defender, by Darvin Adams to one-up him and make that catch. And how about the throw from Matt Nichols? Matt Nichols looks to the field, flips his hips, and goes deep.
Now swung out to Adams again after the 52-yard catch. Down to the 19-yard line, his 4th catch of the game.
Let's see just the tail end of it. Here's the top of the route, and that's great coverage. You can't be much better. Darvin Adams wins that battle. Throw in stride.
Well, back in the red zone where they're perfect tonight. Harris not going anywhere.
Well, that secondary for BC's just got to settle in. That play was to the strength and then to the veteran in Ronnie Yell on that backside. But for the most part, Nichols is going to the wide field. Mark Washington just needs his backups to settle in and start to communicate.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Harris releases. Nichols looking across for Thorpe. TJ Thorpe trying to cut back, and Elimimian there. Whistle before Thorpe lunged ahead for what could have been first down yardage.
Wow, you're right. Andrew Harris releasing one way, TJ Thorpe the other. Watch Andrew Harris, who's right here, and he's coming out of the backfield, and basically Matt Nichols really has his choice now. Because if you stop it right now, look at here. There's his number 1 receiver. There's number 2. He can pick between 1 or 2. Either way, he's got a big gain.
On 3rd and short. Beaver in the short yardage group in, 3 for 4 on the year. And a plunge ahead decisively for the first down. Well, another slow start tonight for the Bombers on offense, but in the 2nd and 3rd quarters, they've scored the majority of their points this year, and they're doing it again here tonight. 21 points since the start of the 2nd quarter. And threatening to add to that. 1st and goal. It'll be Dressler carrying the football and gets tripped up to Quinn Evans. Got his ankles. A flag comes down on the play.
TJ Thorpe is complaining. He was blocking right at the point of attack where Weston Dressler was trying to get to. Did he hold that block too long?
Holding, Winnipeg number 14. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
He's right in front of your screen right now. Here he comes outside. Thorpe's got him. First is okay, but then grabs the shoulder pad and pulls Luchez Purifoy inside.
Moves him back 10. It's 1st and goal. Nichols from the pocket, releasing underneath. It's Harris. Spins off first contact and fights his way to the 6. Anthony Thompson shaking up on the play, and that's another Lions DB down.
Well, they didn't have to bring the training staff in. He got up, so he's able to stay in the game. 2nd effort here for another 1.5 yards from number 33.
Mike O'Shea talked about how tenacious and how much fire he played with last week, and how the offensive line started to take that game from the Argos away. But they were inspired by the work of Andrew Harris. 2nd and goal. Got time into the back of the end zone. And touchdown! A one-handed beauty. Second touchdown of the game for Darvin Adams. This one a little prettier than the last.
What a finish, a double move, and Darvin Adams stabs it at the back of the end zone. One hand, his left hand. What a catch.
He has stepped up tonight, and that was Darvin Adams' with some big catches on the drive, including the 52-yarder.
The athleticism at the receiver position this year across this league is unbelievable.
Well, that's the guy that the Bombers have been waiting for, and Darvin Adams with a "did you see that catch" to add to the Bomber lead. Just a reminder, it's the Rough Riders and the Stampeders, and it's year later Tackle Hunger Night at McMahon tomorrow, so bring food and help support that.
Boy, there's a couple of beautiful catches every game, it seems, and Darvin Adams just got himself on the highlight reel. Nice double move, one-hand catch back of the end zone.
Yes, a Sports Center moment indeed for Darvin Adams. 3 consecutive touchdowns for the Bombers in the game. Now an 8-point lead after trailing by 13. Chris Rainey to work. They have done a better job against Rainey of late. Thomas Miles.
Great move, great catch. But let me show you the mistake for the young DBs watching that TJ Lee makes. There's Darvin Adams. Watch him make this double move. Now, TJ Lee has got him on the out, but he makes a mistake right there. He's looking back, not looking at his receiver who just turned it up on him on the double move. He's looking back at the quarterback. Darvin Adams gets in behind him, and then the one-hand catch back to the end zone. Nice.
Well, let's see how Travis Lulay responds. Starting at the 25. Throws for Iannuzzi, got a catch, got a first down up at the 40. Dragged down by Brandon Alexander.
Boy, since that big hit on Iannuzzi in the first half by Brian Walker, it's almost like he's bracing himself as he catches the ball now. He's going to catch this ball, brace himself for a second, not knowing what's behind him, hang on, and then turn up, secure the football, and get positive yards.
4th catch for Iannuzzi on the night. 39 yards and a first down here for the Lions at the 40. Jeremiah Johnson out of the backfield. Lulay trying to dump it off. It's picked off. Jake Thomas. He'll try and hand it off to Kyle Knox, and knocks down the sidelines. It's a touchdown. What a play by Jake Thomas. Defensive touchdown for Winnipeg, a team that led in that department last year with 5.
Well, he starts in a 3-point stance. Jake Thomas with a rip move in a double team, what the defensive tackles have to live with all day long. He tips it up to himself, has the presence of mind to give it to his teammate in Kyle Knox. I mean, did we just watch Darvin Adams, or did we watch 276-pound Jake Thomas?
Big guy out of Acadia makes a play that helps the Bombers score their 4th consecutive touchdown of the game. And now they've got a 15-point lead. Well, the big man can make a catch too. And then hand it off for a Bomber defensive touchdown.
Only at Burger King.
Pride of Douglas, New Brunswick. Jake Thomas makes the play, accepting congratulations on the sidelines and getting an assist on the Kyle Knox touchdown.
Well, it's just the whole sequence here to tip it up and keep it alive. A little athleticism at 276, the former Axeman, and then to have the presence of mind and the guts to say, here you go, give it to someone that's not being tackled by 4 Lions, and Kyle Knox takes it the rest of the way.
If he was watching the Edmonton-Hamilton game, Marcus Howard tried something similar yesterday and gave the football right back, but that handoff executed perfectly and
backwards,
doesn't get much time to savor it. He's got to get right back out on defense, but Jake Thomas won't be complaining.
Conference All-Star back with the Acadiacsmen. 1 sack on the season so far, but that's his biggest play of the year.
You know, for the first 20 minutes, it was all BC. It's been all Winnipeg. Of late, Rainey taken down. We'll get back to the sidelines here again, far end.
Guys, when these two teams played in the Western semifinal, here was a thrilling game, and Taylor Loeffler was at the center of it for a couple of plays. You'll remember the Jonathan Jennings touchdown, and late in that play, he shook Loeffler before he got into the end zone, and it was a play Loeffler didn't really want to talk about, but he said it's been hard to avoid with the amount that's been used in various league promotions and commercials. The play that made him smile, though, was his big hit of Manny Arsenault in the end zone. It knocked Arsenault out of the game, and Loeffler, who took a penalty on the play that led to a BC touchdown, maintains it was still clean. The two men actually had a chance to talk during CFL week. They laughed about it, and Arsenault said that what happens in the field stays in the field. He's certainly moved on beyond that play, but they did expect to see a bit of each other in this game. In the first quarter, Loeffler almost had a chance to lay Arsenault out. Arsenault dropped that pass, and he expected to see much more of Arsenault and Burnham as they try to attack the middle of the field as this game progresses, guys.
He also dropped the hammer on Brian Burnham last year, forcing a fumble with a hit that was almost as seismic as the one on Arsenault.
And I agree with Taylor Loeffler that it was a clean hit with the shoulder on Manny Arsenault last year. Don't ever want to see a player get hurt and have to leave the game, but that was a clean hit in my books.
9 tackles last week, 2 so far, and there's Iannuzzi coming up with another catch in front of Brian Walker to move the chains. 5th catch for the Harvard product.
Now there's got to be a sense of urgency with this offense for the BC Lions. All Winnipeg since late in that second quarter.
Here they come. Lule got it away. And over 300 with another connection to Iannuzzi into Bomber territory.
Like TJ Heath is slow to get up here. Came on a secondary blitz. He was getting after Travis Lule. He's trying to shake this one off and get back out there, and Lule's trying to call the plays on the line of scrimmage.
So Heath's going to go down to give them time to get set. Robert Porter, a newcomer, has come on in his spot. And the Bomber bench called to get Heath down. Didn't want him playing on the limp like that.
TJ Heath came on that halfback blitz. He's down here, and he'll come on this halfback blitz. Kind of goes high and past Lule, and when he tries to put the brakes on, I think his own teammate Corey Johnson just kind of rolls over top him, or is it? It wasn't Johnson. But smart play to kneel down on the field of play so that the Bombers can get organized.
So Porter comes on while we have the opportunity. A little best wishes shout out to our esteemed colleague Bob Irving, who went into the shop for some maintenance this week. Reports that all is well, and he'll be back in the lineup next week for the Bombers. Hope you're doing well, Bob.
Absolutely.
He's missing all the excitement tonight, though.
Now looks like TJ Heath will be okay. That's good to see.
Winnipeg at home next week against Montreal. Next Friday, it'll be these Lions in Edmonton.
Now the Bombers have to juggle their secondary. They're going to put Robert Porter, it looks like, to the wide field and have him play corner out there. He's trying to get the signals now from Rock Carmichael at halfback.
Final minute, third quarter, first down at the 51 for Lule and the Lions. Little extra pump there, and over the middle, Iannuzzi can't hang on in traffic this time. Boy, he's been the prime target here in this second half for BC. Well, teams will have to stay strong, think fast, and play hard. The Amazing Race Canada, all new Tuesday at 8 on CTV. heard from Brian Burnham or Manny Arsenault in a while after a quick start to the night. 2nd and 10. And a short pass to Rainey, incomplete. And the punt team will have to come on.
It's what momentum, when it shifts like it has, and the pressure now on Lulay, and they're not just standing back there slinging it and using all their targets and spreading it out. Jeremiah Johnson kind of disappeared in that series as well. Didn't even get on the field much. Takes the run threat away, allows the defensive lineman for Winnipeg to get upfield without worrying about Johnson. Put more pressure on Travis Lulay.
Lions looking to pin the Bombers deep here. Wobbly kick by Long. Langford's got it. And a 37-yarder. Langford returns it to about the 18. One more play in the third quarter that has been enormous for Matt Nichols and the Bombers.
What does Mark Washington try and do to help out his makeshift secondary here? Take a little pressure off him. One option would be maybe to go with a 3-man rush. Drop linebackers and get the young secondary some underneath help. Have them play some zone defense. Give Matt Nichols a lot more time in that pocket.
Kick to Harris. That was a short hop. Was it again? Thorpe dropped immediately by TJ Lee. And that is the final play of the third quarter. Bombers get a pair of touchdowns, one by Matt Nichols, the other on a defensive play, 3 touchdowns, Adams as well. And there's the interception that led to the Knox touchdown. Bombers in charge after 3. Third quarter numbers, a big one for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Matt Nichols needed 365 yards passing to get to 10,000 in his career. He might get there tonight in this makeshift Lions secondary. I think with the BC Lions, they go back to what worked in the first half. Brian Burnham had over 100 yards receiving in the first half, did not get a touch in that third quarter. 7 touches, just over 50 yards for Jeremiah Johnson in the first half. No touches in the third quarter. I got to go back to the playmakers.
35-7 the run here by Winnipeg. It looked early like BC was hitting on all cylinders. Somehow Richie Hall's defensive group dug in a little bit.
Well, yeah, and more pressure on Lulay. You know, they start to squeeze the stick a little bit tighter. There you go. There's your one hockey analogy for the year, and the only one.
Now it's Mark Washington's defense that has to make a play or two. Underneath, TJ Thorpe, and he'll be stopped short. A little extra effort to surge, try to get out of the grasp of Micah Awe. So a 2 and out, first of the second half for the Bombers. And both Rainey and Iannuzzi back. Medlock's punt. Rainey's going to let bounce. It's going to bounce back into Bomber territory on the scoop. The no yards flag comes out, and the Lions going to have terrific field position, a 25-yard punt.
Well, apparently we were a little quick to get to our position.
We
were
on
the third quarter break, but we'll calm down the truck and we'll get back to some game action here.
I believe that's a fine. I'm not sure which one of us will pay for it.
Yeah, I'll take care of this one. Woo! Okay. Big set of downs here for the BC Lions, really is. Not only to stop the momentum, but just to get back to the playmakers.
Just excited, wanted to get to the fourth quarter. Let's go, guys. There's Johnson. Push the pile ahead. First touch, second half for Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah, and even though he stopped short here just for a couple yards, few yard gain here, I think it's still important for that balance. It keeps the D line for Winnipeg with their eyes on him for a split second. That's one split second that Lule may need.
4 for Johnson, 2nd and 6. Lule throwing, and it's intercepted. Rock Carmichael has the interception off the fingertips of Iannuzzi. And Carmichael has his first interception in the CFL.
Iannuzzi is going to Wally Buono asking for a challenge. He feels like Rock Carmichael pushed him on his way to the football. I'm not sure he did.
No challenge flag out yet. And Carmichael with a pretty nice snag of his own.
Furniture locations.
MLS on TSN continues tomorrow with the clash between Toronto FC and Colorado. Action gets underway 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN 1 and 4 and in 4K. And there is a challenge on the interception by Rock Carmichael.
That was a great catch by Carmichael, you're right. Let's take a look. There's a little bit of contact here down the field. That's Iannuzzi there. Carmichael's going to break with him as he goes to the post here. You know, they're still debating this. That's very incidental contact. I would be surprised if they overturn this. And won't necessarily agree with it, I'll put it that way.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah,
interception by Winnipeg.
I mean,
BC will be charged a timeout.
That's as incidental as you can get. And it's not a no-touch policy or rule. It's illegal contact. Carmichael not only made a great break there, but he also made an unbelievable catch.
Bombers had a pair of interceptions in each game last year, and that's the second of this second half. And Carmichael showing you his good hands. That gets the Bombers the football back, and Dressler again with a carry. He's had more rushes than catches in this game.
The play calling and design of this play gets the defense shifting to their left, to the Bombers' right. It gets the defense moving this way a little bit, looking this way, because Weston Dressler comes here and then comes back against the flow.
Second and 6. Here come the Lions. Nichols gets it away, fielding Gadino, and it's overthrown by a stride as he was up against Luchez Purifoy.
But for the Bombers, takes some time off the clock and forces Lule, when he gets this back here, unless we see a big return from Chris Rainey, more real estate to make up.
And the turnover took points off the board, and now Medlock, another short boot. It'll be Rainey, and he gets drilled. Kyle Knox has had a big game on defense and the teams.
Second start for Knox for Ian Wild. Let's take a look at Travis Lule's night. Big first half. Lule was just standing back there slinging it, using all his weapons. Brian Burnham over 100 yards in the first half was his main target. He's gone away from Burnham. An adjustment by the Bomber secondary and Bomber defense to try and take him away. They've done that.
That's the only catch of the game for Arsenault. 10-yard touchdown grab. Lule short drop, and there is Arsenault. Nice grab over the middle in traffic for the Manny Show.
You know, and the Loeffler presence is there, though. Watch Manny Arsenault catch this ball and prepare for impact. Even though Taylor Loeffler doesn't make the hit, it's an inside move. He knows he's going into that danger area, and then he gets down and buckles there. He just getting that low pad level because he's coming.
15 for Arsenault, first down. Lule's got time, going to air this out downfield, and it's caught. What a grab by Burnham again in traffic.
And this is just Lule saying, I don't care if you've adjusted. I don't care if you're going to cover my guy. I'm going to throw it up because I like the chances in a 50-50 ball, and Burnham comes down with it.
149 yards on 6 catches for Burnham. Into the red zone, a fake to Johnson. Nick Moore's got it. And a shirt tail towel tackle by Chris Randall, but looks like Moore's got a first down.
Let's go back to that 50-50 ball with Brian Burnham and Rock Carmichael. Carmichael can't cover any better than that, just needs to get his hands on the football and up over the top. Number 16 comes down with it again.
Got all the headlines for 2 catches and 9 yards last week, so trying to earn the attention with a busier night here. Crosser, Arsenault, touchdown. Second touchdown of the game for the Manny Show, and this is far from done.
Crossing route from left to right. Lule drops it to him. Watch the acceleration. No initial contact. Arsenault sprints to that goal line.
More plays, 77 yards. And they'll kick for one to get within a touchdown and a 2-point convert. Long is good. And it's now a 42-34 score, an 8-point Winnipeg lead. Brian Burnham's been the key Lion weapon, and this big catch set up the touchdown for BC. CFL on TSN is brought to you by the 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition. Get noticed like a pro.
We need more plays out there.
Touchdowns come in bunches.
But we got to keep fighting.
Right.
Keep fighting.
More 84.
100 proof. 84 and 16 combined on that drive.
We haven't heard a lot from 10-catch Nick Moore from a week ago either. He might be the next guy.
Langford from inside the 10-yard line. And Ryan Langford out to the 30.
Manny Arsenault right there in the middle of your screen on this crossing route. He's just taking a look at the coverage, and when he sees Jamal Westerman drop out of there, there's Westerman back there. That's a defensive lineman that they're going to take advantage of that one on the crossing route and the speed of Manny Arsenault.
A lot of time left.
Jamal Westerman's a great football player. Pass rusher, run stopper. Can't put him in coverage too often.
Take the crosser and come back the other way. Mikhail Brooks was in the huddle and makes the play.
Yeah, it's been a quiet start for Mikhail Brooks by his standards. 0 sacks coming in. Really didn't have a quarterback pressure. That's his biggest play of the season. And he is right down in here, goes right down Main Street, beats a couple of blocks in the pulling guard.
Second and 15, jump ball, and incomplete. Adams almost brought it down in a battle with Ronnie Yell. But a quick 2-and-out, Lions getting it back.
Just a lift, and the momentum switches again. One-on-one matchup. Ronnie Yell with TJ Lee over the top trying to help out. Great battle.
And Adams, another one of those receivers that'll win a lot of one-on-one jump balls. Yeah, they're going to throw now, and it's incomplete. Didn't matter either way. On third down, Dakota Brush.
It was actually better he dropped it because it looked like he'd been tackled right there. Better for the Lions, I should say. And now they get it at the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage, which is another 6 yards the opposite towards the goal line.
So that's why the Bombers closed practice this week. That kind of play, the sleeper field goal play.
Nothing wrong with one closed practice a week to put in your trick plays. I have no problem with that. You want to get to closing all practices.
Although some fans might have a problem with that gamble that backfires. Here goes Lule. Crosser. Arsenault again. Wants a block. And is drilled out of bounds after a first down. And with that completion, Travis Lule, Milt Stegall, has gone over 400.
Well, it sort of went away from his playmakers in the third quarter, but you know that Kahari Jones and Travis Lule, probably John Jennings as well, got over there on the sideline and said, look, hey, back to Brian Burnham, let's go find Manny Arsenault on these crossers, let them do the heavy lifting after they get the ball.
Well, can some defense stop in the red zone tonight? The teams combined 9 for 9 touchdowns in the red zone. Lions 4 for 4. It's a quarterback draw. Got a block. It's a touchdown. Well, that's the old Travis Lule.
Assist to Hunter Stewart.
Going to confirm whether or not he did break the plane prior to a knee down.
We'll check that first.
Long lunge. Close. We'll get one more look.
You're seeing what CFL Command Center is seeing as well. Like Nick Moore is going to block whether or not that ball had actually crossed the plane. Two officials putting their hands up.
Boy, that leap started a long way out.
The elbow down.
They are signaling a touchdown. They'll go for 2 and trying to tie it up. If successful, it'll make this game the highest scoring one in the league so far this year. Need 2 to tie. And do they have it? He hung on. Man, he hung on. And it's 42-42. They're marching at BC Place as the Lions march right back into the game. 2-pointer and the strong, sure hands of Arsenault.
Well, I'm not going to second guess the decision to fake punt. The question for me is Medlock the only one who knew it was a fake punt? Look at Derek Jones down there. He doesn't even look like he's an intended target. He's going on a punt cover team, turns around, and the ball kind of arrives. That's set up, touchdown. Travis Lule, who got a great block by Hunter Stewart, and we'll show you that on a 14-yard quarterback draw.
Lule with a couple of touchdown runs last year against the Bombers. We are all tied up and still over 7 minutes left. Langford works his way up across the 40. That's a good return for Ryan Langford.
Well, I pointed him out a couple times tonight, and Hunter Stewart's having himself a great game. He gets a key block here. He starts out at that tackle spot. Quarterback draw from Travis Lule on the touchdown. He gets down the field. Now, Sam Hurl's the only guy who's got a chance here, and watch the block and how he maintains it. Hunter Stewart makes contact, drives him out, sticks with him. Good feet, get his quarterback in the end zone.
Lions led 20-7. Winnipeg won on a 35-7 run. The last 15 points have been scored by BC, and we are locked at 42 apiece, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And now Matt Nichols trying to avoid a 4th consecutive 2 and out.
Well, you can see that body language is starting to get to him now. He's got to convert here to slow the momentum switch.
Big 12-play, 75-yard drive late last week in the third quarter to take the lead for good. Look out. DeQuinn Evans beat the snap of the football. And an offside call.
Offside. BC number 94. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Well, DeQuinn Evans beat it by a couple snap counts. Watch him off the edge here. Ball's not snapped, ball's not snapped, ball's not snapped. He was way in the backfield before that ball was snapped.
He's feeling a little too much of this Lions momentum. Second and 5. Nichols wants Harris out of the backfield, and he's going to be hit and stopped short. Ronnie Yell from his corner spot came up and made the tackle.
Great call by Mark Washington to play a 3-deep zone here, and they drop out TJ Lee right here. TJ Lee's the deep defender, and then they're going to have Ronnie Yell stay up here in the flat. This is a 3-deep zone with their halfback over the top and the corner up short. Now, if they dump it like they do, Ronnie Yell just got to come up and make a good tackle, and he does.
Angle punt by Medlock for Iannuzzi. 35. Dropped at the 38-yard line. Thomas Miles has been a beast on the teams tonight.
So Travis Lulay gets back into live game action. And in almost 2 games has thrown for over 800 yards. 404 tonight. 840 is his total, and we've got 5:29 left in this one. I think it's safe to say that the MOP Lulay from 2011 is back.
Arm strength's back, and Richie Hall's got his hands full here in the final 5 minutes and change. Pressure on. Jeffcoat couldn't make the tackle, and Lulay throws it into the turf, incomplete.
Yeah, Jackson Jeffcoat beat his man. It was Antonio Johnson off the edge, and he just gets upfield and beats his man. Now this puts your quarterback in a straight bind. He can't make the read, just straight up the field, flushes him up, and then sticks with it. Lulay has to get rid of it, throw it away.
Corey Johnson there to apply more pressure after the first surge by Jeffcoat. Rated out pretty well in his debut last week. They do say that he's got to get used to the pace of 50 or 60 plays. Lulay on a roll. And throws this one at the Bomber pitch, incomplete. Pressure on that time from Trent Corney.
No, but smart decision by Lulay. He may have tried. He had Burnham that broke his route off at the sideline. He had another layer from the backside from Manny Arsenal, but rather try and force that with being chased down from behind. Throws it out of bounds, doesn't want to turn it over there.
Just the second 2-and-out of the game. Ty Long launches this. Langford back at his 19, that's a 52-yard punt. And Langford out just beyond the 30-yard line. Well, from mic'd up players to behind-the-scenes action in CFL Wired. Is caught.
What? I told you how many times you can't throw it to the other team. Hey, how you put Netflix on? Put Netflix on.
Well, they can get Netflix on those tablets, but
catch it Tuesday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific across the TSN network. Well, the defense is trying to dig in here in the fourth quarter. Andrew Harris surrounded, and Brooks there to drive him back.
Max Ford steps up here, beats his block from the interior of the line, and Andrew Harris has no place to go on that one. 2nd and 10 plus.
Just week 5, and already you can feel the intensity of these Western matchups. You're going to get it again tomorrow in Calgary. Rough Riders and Stampeders. Wally Quano mentioned yesterday, top to bottom, it might be the best parity we've ever seen in this league. Underneath, has caught, but Ronnie Yell there again to stop Thorpe short. of the first down.
Get noticed like a pro in the 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition.
Slugging it out here in the fourth quarter with just over 3 minutes to go. A fifth consecutive 2-and-out for Winnipeg. Final play before the warning. 3rd and 5. Mike O'Shea directing traffic from the sidelines. They can't have something on again, can they? They don't. Rainey on the run. Brings it down and heads upfield across the 40 after the 42-yard punt. 11 on the return. Travis Lulay at 404 passing yards. And Manny Arsenault has a pair of touchdowns and a 2-point convert in a 42 all-time.
Tylenol.
World's greatest golfers come together tomorrow, the 146th Open at Royal Birkdale. 3rd round action. Jordan Spieth, the leader at -6. Our coverage at 4:30 a.m. Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, across the TSN network and on CTV. Presented by Freedom 55 Financial. Been a great night when we get down to the final 2.5 minutes to decide it. Lions football, and Johnson not going anywhere. Good tackle made by the middle linebacker, Sam Hurl.
Yeah, and a great defensive play call there from Richie Hall to have that run-stopping linebacker blitz on first down. Travis Lulay wanted to get the run established, grind this one out, grind it down, get in field goal range, and try that walk-off field goal win scenario.
Hurl to the sidelines. Trent Corney into the game at defensive end. Saw his speed rush create problems the last series. 2nd and 10. Corney picked up, but Lulay flushed again. In trouble and dropped. And the Bombers get to Travis Lulay.
With plenty of time. Quick 2-and-out. It started on first down with a good play call. Stop the run and then get Travis Lulay in 2nd and long. Well covered downfield. He didn't like what he had. Really just 4-man pressure with a spy, and the spy was Jamal Westerman.
So 2 straight 2-and-outs for BC, 5 in a row for the Bombers. As the defenses report late for duty tonight. Another big long kick. Langford back around his 20. 55-yard punt, and Langford brings it back across the 30-yard line. So 89 seconds left for Matt Nichols to engineer a game-winning drive.
Well, we saw it last night when the guy he used to back up, Mike Riley, did it for the Edmonton Eskimos. What does Matt Nichols have? Lots of time to stick with his basic game plan here.
Wrestler with as many rushes as catches.
Look out!
Picked off. Ronnie Yell jumped the road intended for Dressler. And BC in business inside the Bomber 35.
Same zone drop from Mark Washington. And watch this. TJ Lee deep. Ronnie Yell in the flat. And it's going to be right here. Dressler on the out from that 2 spot. But it's that same coverage. And at this time, it's Ronnie Yell with the pick instead of the big tackle on Andrew Harris. Misread by Matt Nichols.
Second interception of the season. And the first for Ronnie Yell, the first interception thrown by Matt Nichols in the last 2 games.
Need to argue when he
So they're basically in field goal range. See how they play it. Hand it off inside for Rainey. And he's down to the 30.
I think you want to produce one more first down and then grind it down as far as you can before the field goal. That's exactly what they're talking about on the sideline now. Cara Jones and Wally Guano.
You're right, three's good, but leaving a minute on the board for the Bombers to respond is not what they want. So the 2nd and 5 play call is going to be important.
Now, if you're the Bombers, you want to load it up and
Lions 8 for 17 in 2nd down conversions. They run it down. They hand it off, and Rainey straight ahead. Did he get it? Looks like he's going to be about 1.5 yards short.
Timeout, Winnipeg.
In fact, he might be 2 full yards away.
Well, Wally Buono tried to decide here. He's got to go for this field goal, you think. You got to take the go-ahead points and put your defense out there and try and get the stop. But needed that first down to grind the clock, and it will give Matt Nichols some time. They got to kick the field goal here, though.
DeLong looks for his 3rd of the night. If he misses, does Langford just wouldn't punt it out, would he? Not going to miss, so it's academic. 45-42. But
no, too much time left. They could have been back in field goal range again if the Lions recovered. So
only asked the question because there seemed to be some conferring on the sidelines of what instructions Langford should have.
You can see him running it out if it was missed. Mid end zone area, but Matt Nichols now with 52 seconds has lots of time to get in field goal range himself. Again, I would think he's going to go and again explore the wide side of the field where the Lions in their secondary have had to make so many changes. Those 2 mistakes, the one where he dumped it to Andrew Harris, that wasn't a mistake, but that was a good tackle by Ronnie Yell. The second was a mistake in the read. Same defense on the short side of the field. Lions haven't made any changes there. That's TJ Lee and Ronnie Yell's spot.
The Lions will kick off. And if Langford's got other instructions, it'll be to head north here and not kill too much of the clock.
No, you don't want to mess around on this one. Get what you can straight up the field and give your quarterback as much time as possible. Plenty of time here.
So Mike Riley drive the field in 44 seconds, something like that last night, so we know there's time. And Ryan Langford set it up in good field position. Decent burst up around the 35, so we get it back to that spot on the field, and now it's in the hands of Matt Nichols with 46 seconds left.
Matt Nichols wants his 46 seconds after that last throw. A chance for redemption right now.
Medlock's longest of the year, 55. Remember, he came up short last year from 61 in the West Semi. Underneath, it's Harris. Alway there. Elimimian helps finish him off. And at the 43, he has 9.
Original line of scrimmage. Matt Nichols needs about 31, 35 yards to get in field goal range. That's a good start.
Back to Harris, and a first down run, but a flag comes down. And another flag is tossed. So a couple of different. And is BC counting? BC's got 12 on the field.
Too many men. BC, 10-yard penalty, first down.
It is 13. And a Lion player goes down to get attention and help get things organized. Deshaun Davis
Well, let's take a look. Right in here, go ahead and start to run it, guys. You're going to see a scramble for, I think it's Micah Alway to get off, right, number 51 right here. And he's scrambling to get out there and get off because of the late substitution, and doesn't. So there's 13 men on the field and 3 flags. 3 different officials saw that. So right now, Matt Nichols is looking at 1st down and a half, the field goal range. With a money kicker on the sideline, waiting for his opportunity.
Nichols sets up the screen for Harris, and just into Lion territory. Tackle made by Purifoy at the 54 BC. 10th catch of the game for Harris. 2nd down. And it's Thorpe. Breaks 1 tackle. And he's going to come up short. So they're going to have to look at a 3rd and 1 or a field goal from midfield. What's your call, Coach? 3rd. Well, it's going to be less than a yard.
You got to go get this. One more play to get another 5 yards for Medlock.
And there's the surge to get enough for the 1st down. But now they have 9 seconds, and they have to be efficient with this last play prior to a field goal.
Boy, do they ever. Got to be a quick out. 4, 5, 6 yards. Give Medlock a fighting chance.
Swing it out. Andrew Harris. Purifoy brings him down. 1 second remaining. That's how close it was to running out of time.
Well, Purifoy had to hold him up for that extra second. Smart for Andrew Harris to get himself down when he first felt contact. Now you got Medlock with a streak of his own. This is no chip shot.
And again, the streak still alive because the fake field goal considered an onside kick in the 1st half from 50 to tie it. And he is short. From 50, didn't get there. Rady on the return. Just Chris Rady's going to go all the way back. There is a flag, however, as Rady is dropped at the 10 by Weston Dressler. But there is a flag at the 40. And will this give Medlock another shot?
Boy, I thought Medlock nailed that. I thought he had that. The alignment was perfect. It looked like it was going to split the middle of the uprights, and it just fell short, almost like it died.
He didn't have some distance on a couple of punts here tonight either. And we just got a taste of what all these Western showdowns are going to be about. Still a conference about the penalty issue, which makes you wonder, because if it's against the Bombers, it's over. If it's against the Lions, is it just on the return? And so some options being given. They're going to force BC to come out and take a knee.
During the return, we have holding on BC. That penalty be declined, and the game is over.
What a game.
The emotion's still bubbling over. That's the winning side, and they're not happy.
You know, we talked about maybe another 4 or 5 yards for Justin Medlock. The Bombers needed to give him a chance. Looked like he may have got under that one a little bit, but I thought when he made first contact, he had it right down the middle and enough, and it just died and fell short right at the goal line.
Used a tee unsuccessfully from 61 out last year in the Western Semi. You saw no tee used there, and time now for the Player of the game, the Nissan Titan Player of the game, brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Motivated by Milt Stiegel in the studio, saying he couldn't get over 400 yards again. Travis Lulay went to work. Big first half for Lulay. The third quarter was a little slower, but he got it going again in the fourth. Over 400 yards for the second straight game. Travis Lulay's first official start since November of 2015 is our player of the game.
Lions move to 4-1. They've won 4 consecutive games, the last 2 with Lulay at the controls. And the Bombers now at 2-2 on the season. Headed home to play Montreal next week. How about the matchup we'll have on Friday night? 4-0 Edmonton, 4-1 BC. Maybe they can all be like this one. Wild night here on the West.